Being in the now moment is being full of gratitude, feeling deep gratitude and expressing it. And gratitude is filled with joy. The now moment has many presents to it. It comes with many presents. And the biggest one is the present of being present and being aware that right now everything works just fine. In some circles it's being said, all is well. All is well right now. I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm feeling good, I'm healthy. I am wealthy in the sense of there's enough food, even if just to take me on this day. There's enough water, there's shelter, I have clothes on my body, I'm warm. Everything that humanity has been trying to run away from or fight against in the name of survival, all of that has been accomplished. All of that is present with me right here, right now. I have myself, I am sheltered and protected. I have all that I need to sustain myself in this moment right now. And that's in itself is enough to bring me joy. It's enough to relieve me in this moment from chasing that cycle of survival and being present with everything else that's around here. Because when I'm going around and around in that modus of survival, of I have to protect myself, I have to gain something, I have to accomplish something, achieve something, I am not fulfilled right now. I have to fulfill myself or bring something into myself. When I'm going around that, then I'm channeled, then I'm focused so much on that goal, on what needs to be done, on what needs to be fulfilled. And that is what draws me, what draws my awareness from being right here, right now. Exactly like this motor out there that is drawing my attention right now. Not allowing me to be in this present moment. My thoughts and my attention is with that tractor and not present here within me. It's a beautiful example. So whenever I'm not here with myself in what I'm doing, being in that presence, in whatever it is that I'm doing, even if I'm doing nothing, just being in that nothing with myself, whenever I'm not there, whenever I'm not fully in that moment, I don't appreciate that moment. I'm not thankful for that moment. I'm not in gratitude and in happiness and in joy for that moment right here, right now. Everything's okay, even with that tractor or whatever made that motor noise out there. It's not here right now. It's not disturbing me. There is a noise. It draws my attention. It takes me away from my presence, from being right here and right now, doing that video. Actually, it is combining the energies right now that I can deliver that as an example in that video. That's harnessing what is happening in the now moment, not trying to control it, not stopping the video or going outside and shouting at the guy on the tractor, hey, it's a Sunday, why are you making some noise? That's harnessing what is happening, what is coming my way in the now moment, understanding that there is something there for me, that there's a present there from me, a gift, something especially for me to be used. Not my projection of it, Oh, I need this quietness to be able to connect with myself, to be able to make a very quiet and nice video. That was the intention. But the now moment brought me something else. And how often, when I'm focused on how it's supposed to be, how often do I miss what is really there? A noise from a tractor that can give a beautiful example about what's coming in from the so-called outside to fulfill my present moment. To fulfill my present moment. Because when I'm not in fulfillment, when I believe that I'm not in fulfillment, then I don't appreciate this moment and all of these gifts. And even if there was no noise from the outside, if it was completely silent, exactly how I perceived it to be, or I wanted it to be, or wished it to be, if I would have sitting here and worry, and that's what my brain is sometimes trying to do, right? Wants to fix future problems that it foresees. But my brain did not foresee the noise of the tractor. And when the noise was there, my brain was the one being upset and being drawn out of this moment. The attention that has been taken away from me was of my brain, because it's the perceiver. It sits on top and digests all of the information that is coming inside, supposedly from the outside, right? But there's no outside. Everything is inside and out together. So the brain is taking the information from the outside and analyzing it, categorizing it, and then suggest a reaction. On a subconscious level, or when the awareness is not fully present and the alignment of all of the aspect is not fully there, then the brain suggests a certain action. For example, the pissed off aspect of mine. Stand up and yell, be upset, be angry that this noise is disturbing my peace on a Sunday and my wish and intention to make a quiet video. It might suggest even a different aspect, like the poor me aspect. Oh, poor me. Again, I want to try something, to do something nice, and it just doesn't work as I want it. Something has to come in and disturb it. That's another aspect. Many different aspects that the mind is suggesting as a reaction, because it wants to protect, actually. The mind is just there to work with us to protect. It's not a bad guy. The sovereign me that has been through all of these experiences and that started a road of aligning the brain into this entire I am. I would like to call it a coalition of body, mind and soul. All of them are aligned and working together. Co-creation of all the three of them. So when the alignment is there with the brain, it's still present, it's still showing the certain aspect as options of reaction, but it happens in a split of a second, all of them. And the sovereign I am is just allowing all of the scenario to be seen and felt, all of this multidimensional expressions of myself that happen at the same time, right? Because if I choose to be that, oh, poor me, then I am splitted and I'm going in a certain reality, creating of myself to myself a certain now moment of, oh, poor me. If I choose to go with a pissed off me, I'm choosing to a scenario that leads to a creation of a reality that supports this pissed off me. And I can feel and see and sense them For I've experienced them in the past, and I experience them right now, and I will experience this in the future. It's all happening right now. It's a quantum realities, I forgot the name in quantum theory, how it's called, that's happening right now all around me. But I'm not choosing to jump there, to jump to this reality, in not making the choice of allowing my brain to, the brain suggests to me a certain aspect, but I'm not jumping and holding on to that and then playing that aspect, playing that role. Instead, I'm staying sovereign, feeling that, and then I'm doing it already automatically. I'm not even asking myself anymore, what's in the now moment that can support me? What's the gift in the now moment? Earlier on my path to ascension, to enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, I had to stop and ask myself, why is it there? And that's a good tip. Stop and say, why is it there for me right now? Why is it happening in my reality? For I chose it. If I don't see myself as a creator of my reality, there's no need at all to continue listening to this video or making even this video. Why is it there in my now moment? Why is this noise from the outside? Why is it there? I had to stop and to ask myself the question in order to get into that procedure, reprogramming the mind, not only to show me all of these different actions as possibility, my aspects, what I can choose from, like this pissed off me or this poor me. I had to reprogram my brain, and that's how I did it. And just to allow it to keep on still and quiet, and to allow another aspect there, the aspect of gratitude. What's the gift in this now moment? Why is it there? Because I'm not a victim of the circumstances right now. I've asked myself, I created it in deciding to make this video right here, right now. That's part of the creation. So it came into my reality seemingly from the outside. I seemingly did not project it, seemingly. So what's now? What am I doing with right now? Harness it. That's the new aspect that is aligned. And it's coming forth. In a split of a second, I am able now reprogramming my brain to align in this coalition, body, mind, and soul. Very quickly, I'm now seeing the gift in it. How can this serve me? How can this serve the purpose of what I'm doing here, creating a video, speaking about gratitude in the now moment, or gifts in the now moment? How do I harness it to this moment? How does it belong to this moment? I actually don't even have to harness it. I don't have to be active in that. It's already happening. It's already there. So what can I do with it? It's there. It wants to play with me. I can ignore it also. I could have completely ignored the noise and just continue speaking. It's also a reality. It's also something that I could have chosen from and jump into that reality, and this video would have been completely different. And from that point, from that split, from that quantum split that I've chosen to go with that noise and to speak about that noise, I could have completely ignored that and continue whatever it is that felt in the now moment to say. My brain, even now speaking about it, my brain is like trying to, in the back of my mind, is trying to remember what would I have said or what did I wanted to say when this noise came from the outside, but I'm not even going there. This would be, again, not being in gratitude for this now moment. This would be stopping. Sometimes it's important to stop, but in that case, I'm already on the flow. So I'm not going to stop myself from that flow and asking myself, how would it be if? The if is interesting for maybe a dream time, or for maybe if I have really nothing else to do and I want to play out that scenario, seeing. And sometimes it's nice, right? Looking back at things and splitting them, right? Like spreading the reality that happened to me, the experience, spreading it out and seeing what could have been different, how a different scenario could have taken place if I have chosen this or that. I do this sometimes. It's very important, especially when I'm not satisfied with the result, right? If I had an experience and I used to do it. If I was pissed off at an experience or just not generally not completely happy with it, I would have gone through it and see what kind of other scenarios I have chosen to do. And I probably also did it in the time that I reprogrammed my brain, where I had to stop and see all the scenarios and then chose the one that I see fit, the one that is the best, right? The one that is good. But now I'm just going with the flow. I'm allowing things to happen, and that's actually creating in the now moment. That's being a conscious creator, is surrendering to the now moment. Is not forcing it with my brain. It's not like stopping now and saying, how could I make it different, or how could I do this and that? How could I speak about what I wanted to speak back then? That is not respecting the now moment. And it's okay not to respect the now moment. I've done it many times before, and I'm sure I'm still doing it from time to time. When I'm not completely in my power, when I'm not actually completely into trust, in trusting that this now moment would lead me exactly where I want to be. That's a big trust. It's throwing myself to the river, not actually knowing how it gets there, what turns are in the river, what stones are lying ahead, if there's a waterfall or not, how the current is going, what's the temperature of the river, of the water. It's not knowing all of this. It's surrendering to the fact that I know, that I feel, and that I wish all at the same time that I want to be in that river, that I want to go on that journey, and I want it to lead me wherever it wants to lead me, wherever actually I chose it to lead me. And at any moment I can stop and step out of the river, make a stop on the bankside, or whatever it is. For I know that's the river of my life. That's what I chose to do. And that's the joy of my experience, right? It's being in that river, it's being in that flow, it's being in the experience, in the now moment, and knowing it's about joy, it's about fun. I'm not here anymore for survival reasons. None of us is. Humanity has achieved so much to bring us to a point where none of us has to be on a survival mode. Many are on this earth, right here, right now, because they choose that, because they don't see a different choice. Their awareness is not there enough. But we can change all of that. We don't need to. We don't even need to do anything to change all of it. We just need to be aware of it. That actually every single person on this earth, in this now moment, can choose to step out of the survival mode, out of that circle. And we can all support that. It's enough, whatever we have here on earth right now, the supplies, how we extract things, that's enough for every single person. It's just finding itself in a balance right now that we or some circles see it as an imbalance, right? Rich and poor, some have more, some have less. It's just a question of awareness, where people are in their state of consciousness. And that's what building again this cloud of mass consciousness, right? And in the end is just a question of the individual. What does it do? What does the individual do with its state of consciousness if it chooses to expand that, to trust in it, and to make the certain leaps and jumps in it, to expand that? It allows the cloud of mass consciousness to expand. It allows others to tap into that areas, because it's all there already, right? The full expansion of mass consciousness. Also, we're always expanding and expanding, but it's all there. All of the possibilities have already been created. You cannot create something that is not there, because every creation is made out of energies, out of matter and non-matter, or anti-matter. So what we are doing actually is just walking with a flashlight. We are throwing our light, spreading and our light on a place in mass consciousness or just in creation that hasn't been shed light on yet. In the Big Bang of expression, of creation, everything was created, and light reached all corners of the universe, of whatever is that there is, and then faded away into the question of what's going on, who am I? So everything is happening in a superposition. That's the name that I was looking for before quantum theories. Superposition. It's there. It's just shadowed. It's just dark. Until somebody steps inside with his awareness and shed light through his eyes on that. And that comes back into him, what he sees, what he feels, what he experiences. And then there's light where no light was before, or was just for a split of a second and dissipated back into nothingness, or back into the creator, the source, whatever. Being in the now moment. So many gifts.